the PDE.
You got your guys here with your Mr. Swag No Aggie.
No, I'm just Dan.
And we are back with another DB reaction episode.
DB Death Battle, for y'all who don't know. This is not the season finale. It's the one before the season finale.
Yes.
I got spoiled on what the season finale is going to be. I won't talk about it now. But now we got My Hero Academia versus Black Clover, Deku versus Asta.
This is gonna be good. I'm just getting ready to it. I always been, for like the past 3 episodes, I was asking for a good anime one.
Yes.
This is a good anime. 2 of the new schoolers.
I'm mad that it's 2 shonens going against each other, but you get what you get.
Yeah, new school versus new school, man. Who's better?
We'll find out after you guys like, comment, subscribe, show us some love.
So without further ado, let's get to it.
My chair is sinking.
It got me sinking for you.
Deku, My Hero Academia's super student, straight out of UA High.
Asta, the
Deku,
anti-magical ass
Asta,
kicker
keep the
from
name
Black
short.
Clover.
Though you may be born bereft of the same
Character
gifts
get
as
4
your
letters.
peers, there is nothing stopping you from achieving your dreams.
As long as you're a fictional character in a fantasy world.
Yep.
I mean, as long as you've got your friends by your side, you'll pack a hell of a punch. He's with
How many shonen shows are about the power of friendship?
It's a lot.
Find out who
Like
will win.
they find a formula and they just stick with it, which ain't bad.
Izuku Midoriya
Makes
wants
money.
If you do it right.
one
If you do it
thing
right.
from life, to be a beacon of hope, just like
Is
his
he?
idol,
Oh, shut
the
up.
#1 ranked superhero in Japan, All Might.
Too bad he was born a freak with no powers. You heard right. This is like a reverse X-Men thing where 80% of the population gets red superpowers, or quirks as they're called, while the remaining fifth are...
This is one show I can say, even the biggest fans will say it's meh.
You know what they call it? They say it's very roller coaster like.
Yeah,
It's a very
but it's
roller
too much. It's like it never stays consistent.
Yeah.
Let me know, My Hero fans.
Or as his spiky-haired bully Bakugo called him, Deku.
That's a pun on the Japanese word dekunobu, meaning good for nothing.
Damn.
Hearing, despite his basic bitchedness, Midoriya got the chance to prove his quirkless heroic
Midoriya, that's-
mettle against
okay,
this
Midoriya,
giant
yeah.
sludge monster.
I could not get it right last
Much to the
time.
surprise of one particular almighty onlooker.
His body secretly decaying from a horrific
Damn.
injury, All Might needed to find the one who would inherit his all-powerful quirk.
And All Might didn't want just anybody. The hero world was filled with glory
Woohoo.
seekers in it for fame and money. All Might wanted someone whose body moved on its own to save someone.
He saw exactly
Want your
that in
body.
Midoriya and gave him one
I
of the most
want your
powerful
body.
quirks in the world, one for all.
That was the problem. Even after bulking up from lad to Chad, the recoil from even one punch would shatter all the bones in his arm. So he trained to be able to handle his gift at the superhero school of his dreams, UA High.
And that's when he decided
You
to
ain't
own
know.
the name used as a cudgel against him for so many years. Turns out, Deku can also be an abbreviation for Dekiru, someone who can do anything.
Ah,
Exactly
smart.
the opposite of Dekunobu. One for All allows Deku to release absolutely absurd amounts of strength from different parts of his body, with super moves named after U.S. cities and
So yeah,
states.
Air Force
Deku
Ones,
still
the
can't
Air Force
access
Gloves.
all of it. Using 100% will quickly destroy his body,
Damn.
which is why he learned to distribute his strength evenly across his body, a technique known as full cowling. This lets him increase his speed and durability as well, making him more all-rounded, and shifting focus to his own interpretation of One for All inspired by his pal Ida, shoot style.
Where he pulls out a Glock and blows
Detroit.
your brains out. Okay, not really, but in keeping with One for All's rapid
Ah,
lead,
game that
he
should have
trades
been
All
better
Might's
than it was.
signature punches
Yeah,
for
Jump
kicks.
Force.
My version's better. You ever seen Rabbit versus Gun? I know how it plays out.
Considering the much higher muscle mass of a human's legs, shoot style allowed Deku to output even more power while giving his arms a break.
There you
A
go.
break
That's
from
how you're supposed to.
a break.
That's how you
And
punch.
despite being a classic melee build, Deku can fight at range by punching powerful gusts of air and even precisely aim them with specially designed gloves.
Deku
I'm
has
mad as hell this man plucked
encyclopedic
me.
knowledge of quirks and
With
is
air.
always analyzing their strengths and weaknesses mid-battle, even if he does sound a little weird.
Despite only barely getting accepted in the first place, Deku quickly became one of Class 1A's most dependable fighters. Because, yeah, somehow these students are constantly getting drafted into literal wars against murderous supervillains.
Midoriya's successes in battle against ruthless criminals like Stain, Muscular, and Overhaul came much to his old bully's chagrin. Where Bakugo was a child prodigy, he now found himself overshadowed by his hard-working rival, and the two would use their mutual respect and animosity to motivate each other to get
Hold their
stronger.
face down the street.
So, yep, the classic shonen frenemies.
Gotta have your rival.
Luckily for him,
Always.
Deku soon learned that living tar pounding wasn't the only thing he could do. Turns out, One for All did not originate with All Might. It had been passed down 8 times until it arrived at Deku, with each inheritance also carrying the previous user's natural quirk as well.
Like Black Whip, which lets him manifest crazy long and strong energy tendrils to tie enemies up and swing around the city, or shoot one out of his mouth, just like our
Okay,
girl
Batman.
Ruffy.
And Danger Sense, which gives him a minor reactive precognition.
AKA, he's Spider-Man. Not even a reach. The mangaka is like the biggest Spidey fan ever.
He can also produce a smoke screen to mask his presence, float in midair, or store up kinetic energy over time with Fa Jin.
Yep.
Like that. By storing up enough, he can even match All Might's max power without any recoil to boot. Strong enough to change the weather and create city blocks
Survive the nut shot.
tornadoes with a single blast.
And he's even stronger with
Coda.
his newest quirk, Gear Shift, which allows him to increase the speed of an object anytime he touches it. In conjunction with the power of All for One, he can use this to warp reality itself. Deku can go toe-to-toe with arch-villains like Shigaraki, who's fast enough to react to and catch laser beams with his bare hands.
But nothing could prepare him for All Might's archenemy, the shadowy leader of the League of Villains, All for One.
All Might only ever showed his young
Okay,
people
Three Musketeers.
kindness and support, but that couldn't change the absolutely crushing pressure Deku felt at every moment.
Why didn't an R&B
Even
group go all
classically
for one?
trained dickhead Bakugo came to help his teammate
Yeah.
out. when
If
he
it
needed
was, I'll pop
like
it up
when
there.
They teamed up
Alright,
to
there you
share
go.
One for All and punch an island-sized hole in the clouds 24 miles high.
Just goes to show that even One for All isn't a one-man army. Deku's true strength comes from his teamwork between himself and his friends.
And with their help,
The
Deku
power
will certainly
of friendship.
become that beacon of hope he dreamt about as a child.
One hero for all mankind.
Magic! You know it, you love it, and in the world of Black Clover, it doesn't come from a
So his death battle was
box at a tacky
quirkiness
West
versus
Hollywood
magic.
costume shop.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got it.
Mana is the
The
source
wizards.
of all magic, a supernatural energy found in the air and in living beings. Except living beings whose names are Asta.
Not only was the young Asta an orphan abandoned by his mother at a church as a
5'1",
baby,
okay,
he was
Vegeta.
born with a mutation that prevents him from having any mana to speak of. Well, neither do I, and you don't hear
Sounds
me
like a
crying
catchphrase.
about it.
Yes, you do, all of the time. But Asta had a dream. Despite his lack of magic, he and his best friend Yuno promised each other one of them would rise to the throne.
There
of the
better be a
greatest military
Asta La
position
Vista
in the
joke
land, the
in
Wizard
this
King.
death battle somewhere.
Wizard
Aw.
King, guys,
No matter who
sounds
wins or
Epic
loses.
foreshadowing.
but we all know what they mean.
So he dedicated himself to getting swole as all hell. In a world
Yeah.
of nerds, he would be its lone jock god, shoving every last wizard into a locker until they crowned him king.
But huge, frightening pectorals on a tiny, screaming goblin child weren't enough on its own. He needed something powerful enough to shut down his opponent's magic.
He needed the 5-leaf clover
A gun.
grimoire.
Oh.
Essentially, a grimoire will choose its user and
There's a
float beside
grimoires.
their wielder at all
Grim
times.
Wars.
And Asta was lucky enough to receive the Uno reverse card of Grimoires. The 5-leaf clover can harness the power of anti-magic, which will literally nullify the effects of other magic spells. Almost like wizard kryptonite. Let the locker stuffing
I was
commence.
like, is this anime Harry
Get
Potter?
nerds.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
pretty
long
much.
before Asta was accepted into one of the 9 squads of Clover Kingdom's Magic Knights, the Black Bulls, filled with lazy drunkards, antisocial otakus,
like
and
that name.
literal sociopaths.
My kind of people. Yep, mostly. But much like with Asta,
Like
you should
bullshitters.
judge a grimoire by its cover. And soon they were all working together and kicking ass like a family should.
Asta harnesses the power of anti-magic by summoning swords imbued with it from the grimoire. Normally, these swords would quickly drain the mana from anyone foolish enough to wield them, but Asta does not have any mana, turning his greatest weakness into a one-of-a-kind strength.
He's got his classic Demon Slayer, an enormous greatsword which cuts through spells
Demon.
with its edge and
Demon
deflects
Destroyer.
them with its flail.
Slasher.
Or the Demon Dweller, which can also absorb and copy magic.
I don't like this for Asta
I
because
think my personal
You like Black
favorite is more
Asta?
complex Warrior, which severs the relationship.
Nah, I talk about it in
countering
prediction.
the effects of its
which someone told us don't do.
I was about to mention that too, bro. Thank you.
Poison to preventing reincarnation.
Yeah, okay, some of these can get a little heady. I personally prefer keeping it simple, like using anti-magic telekinesis to surf on your sword through the sky.
It's worth noting that these swords are made specifically for countering magical attacks and sources of mana. The swords
You a sword
will act
rider,
as though
sir?
blunted when striking
I know a few sword riders.
more
Like,
akin to clubs than actual blades. Not entirely inconsistent with real-life greatswords.
But none of that's even close to as cool as his deadliest sword, the Demon Slasher, a katana as black as the pits of hell and twice as badass.
This one actually does cut like a sword, but it's complicated. It lets Asta actually select what
Oh,
he
shit.
does and does
Here's the
not want to
complications.
cut, only
That's
affecting
what
his
we want.
target while leaving anything else unharmed.
Okay, at this point, isn't that just magic?
Magic with a loophole.
And he's studied the blade long enough to become a master swordsman to boot. Not
Ooh.
the real life sense, in the anime sense.
He can spin himself like a tornado to deflect magic spells, thrust forward at top speed like a charging bull, launch a barrage of anti-magic projectiles, and even channel anti-magic into his swords to vastly increase their size.
Well, while he may be no good with mana, he has learned to detect ki. Because, of course,
The life force existing in all things, Asta can detect hidden opponents and even predict their movements ahead of time, as long as he's fast enough to react.
with such crazy powers, Asta was taking on threats like the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the Devil Zagrid, and the Dark Triad. So many nerds, never enough lockers. Too bad for Asta, though. He had one serious inner demon.
Literally,
Damn.
housed within
There's so
the fight
many-
with
so many
Clover
nerds, not
Bernard
enough
was
lockers.
exiled from hell for completely lacking magical powers, and who just so happened to get adopted by Asta's mother.
Until
Damn.
he got possessed by a different demon and killed her. Vowing vengeance on all demonkind, Liba
God
manifested anti-magic from his hatred as a way to kick their asses, which gave him and Asta a lot of common ground, despite the whole, mom murder thing.
In fact, the two became true brothers and formed an unstoppable duo. Liba
Hey,
can
brother, hey,
actually
brother.
fully merge with Asta for a massive power boost that lasts up to 5 minutes, at the cost of leaving Asta nearly powerless for the next half hour.
Come on, I want it.
So that's gonna be the thing.
I'll take
If he
it
can beat
I get
Deku in
to
that 5
be
minutes, he
strong
won.
enough to slice buildings
Yeah.
to pieces, obliterate
That's the
If not,
one.
if not, he's
They're the
dead.
most powerful demons
He's
apart from the
snuffed.
goddamn book. I'm the book boy, okay?
Even characters earlier in the series like Patoli had magic capable of completely vaporizing the entire Clover Kingdom in a single attack. And demons that Asta has fought since then, like Dante and Lucifero, are leagues stronger.
Hell, screw all these demon forms and anti-magic powers. Asta's body is so incredibly well trained, he dodged a beam of light while sleeping. As in, he was asleep, and the force of his sneeze pushed his head out of the way of a beam of
Wow.
light.
Okay.
Sneezes, everyone.
And despite his headstrong and irritating personality,
AKA screaming at the top of his lungs as often as possible.
Asta is an intelligent fighter who has leveraged his skill against far more experienced foes.
But he wouldn't be anywhere without the ragtag band of deviants he calls
There
friends.
we go.
With them at his side, there's no
Friendship.
way he won't climb the ranks to take the Wizard King's throne. Especially with Yuno pushing them both to get stronger.
Unlike other classic shonen rivalries, this one isn't tainted by antagonism. They truly want what's best for each other, even if
Okay.
they're competing for the same throne.
Look at Shonen switching it up.
There you go.
'Cause
Trying
even
to
if
pop shit, but guys
Asta
did it right.
His true magic is never given up.
Predictions. So I'm going with Asta because I don't know if they call the quirks more magic. If the quirks are more into magic, I think Asta got this one.
I don't think they were magic. Like I said, I wish I was more versed in both of these characters to have an actual prediction, like going off of them and taking in whatever information I can. I'm taking Asta. Excuse me,
There you
Asta.
go.
Asta seems like a more likable character. It seems like more of a character that I would drift towards between the two.
Okay,
So
let's get right into it.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Hey, at the arena. That arena about to blow up.
Crazy strong. I'm gonna have to rely on more than just my power to take him down.
Just gotta hit him really hard. Man, this guy can give even Luck a run for his money.
Said Asta can predict moves if he's fast enough.
Okay.
Sword's supposed to be sharp. His speed isn't slowed by his sword's weight at all. Gotta hamper his movements and get that book out of his hands. He found me.
Yeah, yeah, he does a lot of that.
Inner monologue.
Now it's my turn.
Wait, are you not using magic?
Oh shit.
Magic Emperor would I be if I can't beat a guy like this? Detroit Smash!
Smash.
Detroit Smash! Detroit!
Rubber band, my guy.
How these buildings just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's how the arena is.
Alright.
It simulates.
Detroit is, but I've had
You got 5 minutes.
All right.
ending this quick! Hit me with all you've got, because I'm never going down!
Sure, boy. Woo. Come on, man. You got 5.
Hey, going at it. Ain't no one-sided battle. I'll tell you
Nah.
that shit.
No use not going all out anymore.
I give
Just
Deku.
gotta hit him really hard.
No, that's Asta's thing.
1,000,000%!
Woo. Woo. Shablam.
I did it.
Detroit.
God. Get out of there, Hercule.
I thought Deku was about to take this shit after a while.
Poor Deku.
Yeah.
He tried his best, but Asta just shoved him into that great big locker.
He has
in
more
the
battle
sky.
experience, too.
Both Deku and Asta were fairly evenly matched melee fighters without any specific abilities to give one an easy edge over the other. Though, to be fair, the variety of quirks Deku inherited from past users of One For All did make him more versatile and unpredictable.
Plus, quirks are biological mutations, not connected to some supernatural energy source like mana. So Asta's
Okay.
anti-magic powers were basically useless here.
And Deku was generally a smarter and more tactical fighter, but against Asta's incredible might, this time brawn beat brains.
Okay.
Let's crunch some numbers! Deku's greatest feat of strength was splitting that enormous cloud formation with Bakugo.
By measuring the size of the island and comparing it to the
I know they
cloud
comments
above,
is split.
we can determine they
Yeah,
disperse over
man.
63
You know it.
trillion kilograms of water.
That's the weight of the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Dang.
12,000 of them.
And required an energy of nearly 80 teratons of TNT per punch.
Let's compare
Dang.
that to Asta. But Toli's spell was going to be strong enough to vaporize a country the size of the Clover Kingdom.
We can use this map from the manga to estimate the size of Clover Kingdom to be about 500 kilometers in diameter, about half the length of Great Britain. Vaporizing a country of that size would require an energy of over 480 teratons of TNT, over 6 times greater than
Damn.
Deku's punch.
While Asta uses anti-magic, it isn't an automatic counter. It needs
More
to be
mobile,
comparable in
physically
strength
stronger,
to the spell it's
faster.
combating. And Asta's gotten way stronger since.
Asta was also quicker. Sure, scaling to Shigaraki would
Swords
give
over punches and kicks.
Pretty much.
reaction time.
But Asta could dodge light in his sleep, and that's his base form. even before transforming with Lipa to get way faster.
And since Deku and Asta's precognitive abilities more or less matched each other, it was only a matter of time before Asta simply overwhelmed him.
Especially since Deku has struggled in the past against faster opponents. Sure, Deku was smarter, but if he literally didn't have enough time to come up with a plan of attack before getting hammered, his brains were wasted.
Deku's tactical brilliance and harem-scarum tenacity definitely gave his opponent a run for his money, but Asta's raw power, blinding speed, and deadlier weaponry
Shish
spelled
kebab.
the end for All Might's pupil.
Deku
Gosh.
gave his all, and I wish he had won. Hasta la vista.
The winner.
Thank you.
You called it.
Hey, if you want more
All right.
ASAP, why not grab a membership?
This shit will be
You'll get
something.
exclusive emotes, badges, live chat, live
I don't know
streams,
why
and a
they're
bunch
doing
of
this.
behind-the-scenes stuff.
Oh,
Just click
man.
that join button. Thanks
Well, you
for
just make
watching.
that sound like a DBZ one?
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. They must have been getting a lot of DBZ heat. Like, oh, y'all let DBZ lose to this person.
Well, now DBZ fights DBZ. Everyone wins.
That's exactly what that seemed like. Oh, but back to the Deku versus Asta. It was expected, but I did. Sometimes with a lot of these death battles, it makes you want to go back and watch some of these shows. I think with Black Clover, I'm more interested than I was before now.
Yes,
I'm gonna go
more
back
than
to
My
that.
Hero.
I don't know. My Hero was good, but like you said, it's inconsistency to me.
Yeah, maybe you guys in the comments give us some positives about the show. We don't want to be all negative about it. Give us some positives of why we should check it out.
That's what it is, man. I can't wait till the next one. I'm still stuck on the next one, man. We've been talking, but that's something that's been talked about for a long time. Which one is stronger?
Yeah, I would say prior to Super, a lot of people would say Gogeta. But then again, you get the argument, Gogeta's not canon. Unless you count GT.
Well, Gogeta was made canon since the Broly movie.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. All that before Super was a completely different argument. Now, you got both of them up there.
So with all that being said, we about to get out of here though.
Check out the description for that original video and all our stuff. Follow us, social media. Follow us, Twitch, for fun streams all throughout the week. Live reactions, video games, just chatting, just hanging out, doing things we like, doing things you guys like. Come through.
If you guys also want to be part of the community, make sure you come to the Discord as well.
All those links in the description.
Make memories, stay humble, live life, swag and waggy.
Deku got beat with his smart ass. all that praise for nothing. You got beat by a dummy.
That screams at him, I kill you!
And your friends watched. Ain't nobody jump in. We out.